Have you ever wondered what it takes to lead a nation through its darkest hour? To face a country literally torn in two and stitch it back together piece by painful piece? Today, we're diving into the extraordinary life of a man who did just that. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. His story isn't just a chapter in a history book. It's a powerful lesson in leadership, perseverance, and the enduring fight for justice. From a log cabin to the White House, his journey is one of the most remarkable in American history. So, how did a boy born into poverty in a one-room Kentucky cabin, with less than a year of formal schooling, rise to become one of the most revered figures in the world? Lincoln's early life was defined by hardship and hard work. He was a rail splitter, a flatboatman, a store clerk, and a postmaster. But through it all, he had an insatiable hunger for knowledge. He would read anything he could get his hands on, often by the light of a fireplace, teaching himself law and mastering the art of debate. This self-made man developed a reputation for his sharp intellect and unwavering honesty, earning him the nickname, Honest Abe. This foundation of integrity would become the bedrock of his political career, as he made his way from the Illinois state legislature to the U.S. Congress, and finally, to the nation's highest office. In 1860, Lincoln was elected president, and his victory was the final straw for a nation already simmering with tension. The core issue was slavery, an institution that Lincoln had long opposed on moral grounds. He famously said, "A house divided against itself cannot stand," believing that the United States could not continue indefinitely as half slave and half free. Before he even took office, 7 southern states seceded from the Union, forming the Confederacy. Soon after, the first shots were fired at Fort Sumter, and the American Civil War began. Lincoln's primary goal at the outset was clear and unwavering: preserve the Union. He saw secession as an illegal rebellion and was determined to hold the country together, no matter the cost. The early years of the war were brutal and devastating. The Union suffered a series of demoralizing defeats, and the casualty numbers were staggering. Lincoln faced immense pressure, not just from the Confederacy, but from within his own government. He was criticized for his handling of the war, for suspending certain civil liberties, and for not acting decisively enough against slavery. But Lincoln was a master strategist, both militarily and politically. He navigated treacherous political waters, managed difficult personalities within his own cabinet, and spent countless hours studying military tactics, often acting as his own general-in-chief. He understood that this was not just a war for territory, but a battle for the very soul of America. The turning point came with his decision to issue the Emancipation Proclamation. While it didn't immediately free all enslaved people, it was a monumental strategic and moral move. It transformed the purpose of the war from simply preserving the Union to a fight for human freedom. It allowed African American men to enlist in the Union Army, adding crucial manpower and a powerful moral force to the cause. This bold act redefined the nation's identity and set it on a new course toward fulfilling the promise that all men are created equal. It was a risky political move, but it was a testament to Lincoln's courage and his evolving vision for a truly united and free nation. Of course, no discussion of Lincoln is complete without mentioning his incredible power with words. He wasn't just a politician, he was a poet of democracy. His speeches are masterpieces of rhetoric that continue to inspire us today. Take the Gettysburg Address. In just 272 words, delivered at the dedication of a cemetery for fallen soldiers, he redefined the meaning of the war and the promise of America. He spoke of a new birth of freedom and challenged the nation to ensure that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. These words weren't just for the audience that day, they were for all future generations. They transformed a bloody battlefield into a symbol of sacrifice and national purpose. Similarly, his second inaugural address, delivered just weeks before the end of the war, is a profound meditation on reconciliation and healing. Instead of celebrating victory, he spoke with humility and compassion. He called on the nation to act with malice toward none, with charity for all, to bind up the nation's wounds. This speech reveals the depth of Lincoln's character. Even after 4 years of horrific conflict, his focus was not on punishment, but on reuniting the country and building a lasting peace. He saw a future where former enemies could once again become fellow citizens, working together to rebuild what had been broken. This spirit of forgiveness and unity is a crucial part of his legacy. After 4 long years, the war finally came to an end in April 1865 with the surrender of the Confederacy. The Union was preserved. The process of abolition was firmly underway with the passage of the 13th Amendment, which Lincoln championed. The nation could finally begin the difficult process of healing and reconstruction. It seemed that Lincoln's greatest task was complete, and he could now lead the country into an era of peace. But tragically, just days after the war's end, the nation's joy turned to horror. On April 14, 1865, while attending a play at Ford's Theater, Abraham Lincoln was assassinated by John Wilkes Booth. The man who had saved the Union was gone. The nation was plunged into mourning. The loss was immeasurable. Lincoln's death left a massive void in leadership at the most critical moment of Reconstruction, the period of rebuilding the South and integrating newly freed African Americans into society. We can only speculate how different history might have been had his compassionate and wise leadership guided the country through that challenging time. But his legacy was already secure. Abraham Lincoln proved that one person, armed with integrity, wisdom, and an unshakable belief in the ideals of freedom and democracy, can truly change the world. He remains a towering figure in history, not just as a president, but as a symbol of what it means to lead with courage and compassion in the face of division. Abraham Lincoln's story reminds us that even in our most divided moments, there is hope for unity. His life teaches us about the power of perseverance, the importance of empathy, and the moral courage required to fight for what is right. He guided the United States through its greatest trial and, in doing so, helped it to more fully realize its founding ideals. His legacy isn't just in monuments and memorials. It lives on in the very fabric of the nation he fought so hard to preserve. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey through the life of Abraham Lincoln. We hope you found his story as inspiring as we do. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about the great leaders who shaped our world, please hit that like button, leave a comment with your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content just like this. We'll see you in the next video.